Here we go. This is episode number 310. We're starting here right now. Whether Brandon wants to or not, he hit record. It's episode 310, No Laugh Track Podcast. This is Justin Severson, the host. Circle of Heat, let us play the music there at the beginning. My guest today, second time on this podcast. First one was episode 201. Yep, you remembered that. May 22nd, 2016.
I was going to say, 2016 was the last time I was here, and the way I know that is from the board in the green room. People don't know. For people who don't know, there's a board in the green room.
Yes.
And you write your name, and it says 2016, but it doesn't say the month or anything. So I just know I was here in 2016. Now, when you say episode 201 or 310, do you mean season 3, episode 10, or is this the 310th episode?
310th episode.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you do anything for the 300th?
No,
you didn't, or you would have known. You would have known.
Let's see.
Dave
here.
Chappelle, Paul F. Tompkins, and Patton Oswalt all together.
Yeah, by phone.
There you go, by phone. Yeah.
I was too busy. I couldn't make it over.
Well, they don't know any better anyway. It's all recorded, so.
Yep. No. One a week. We've skipped a few weeks. We've had some that have had technical difficulties, so I know what happened and guess. But yeah.
Okay, well, congrats. That's a lot of podcasts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they keep having me come back, so I'm going to keep doing it.
As you should.
Yeah. I was here most recently on Tuesday. You were here Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, I performed.
I was here for the show.
Yeah. This is Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, okay.
So I know how Tuesday went.
Yeah, how did it go? I don't remember. My memory's terrible. We can get into that later, but my memory is terrible. I probably talked about it during the show why my memory's terrible, but yeah.
You did.
So how was Tuesday? How was Tuesday from an audience perspective?
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It just makes me laugh. I liked it.
I mean, I polled everyone on their way out, and I was the only one, is what I'm trying to say.
But you could have. I mean, last night was a blast. Tuesday was all right. It seemed like it was fun. Yeah.
I'm a bigger crowd Wednesday, I'm imagining.
Wednesday was a much bigger crowd. Yeah. Tuesday was, but they were a good bunch. Always a good bunch here.
Tuesday's rolling in, beginning of the week.
First time I'd performed in a long time, too. So, it felt good to... this is probably one of the better clubs to perform at when you haven't performed in a long time.
Okay.
Just warm, welcoming. It's always nice.
Now, I listened back to episode 201,
all right.
Yeah, I have a lot of critiques.
Okay.
That we need to go over. Not of me, of the show, but...
Fair enough.
No,
Yeah,
something I never asked you, and I'm curious.
Yeah.
History at Acme. We never talked about that. Your history at Acme. When did you first come here? It wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't 2 years ago.
No, I don't know.
You don't know.
I've been here many times. The last time I usually come more frequently than I guess every 2 years, or at least it feels like I used to. But no, I've been coming here. I think probably since 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I first moved to L.A. late 2009, 2010, so I think it would have been right around then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know
that's my history with Acme, to answer your question.
All right. Another thing I didn't ask you is I know, and we talked about that you live in L.A. You did 2 years ago as well.
Yeah.
Why did you move there?
Why did I move to L.A. from Toronto? Well, I had done a television show in Toronto. Well, I think I ultimately wanted to move to L.A., experience it, either New York or L.A. It's, it's where you want to go. Growing up, you just imagine, what it's going to be like. And so I did a TV show in Canada for 2 years. And it got canceled, and that was the ultimate decision. Okay, let's move to L.A. and see what happens.
What's next?
Yeah, my agent was already in L.A. My manager was there, and I figured, well, I might as well move everything to L.A. and kind of jump into that scene and see what that's all about. So The only thing that really changed was you were available to do auditions in Los Angeles.
Right.
Other than that, you still tour the same way you would. Like I could still tour in America when I lived in Canada.
Right.
But it's just a lot easier doing that from L.A.
How were you ever close to going to New York as well, or only?
No, I mean, I knew, like, my agent was in L.A., and I visited L.A. I always loved L.A. Now, I like New York, but I love L.A., so I knew it was going to be L.A. Weather, everything else. L.A. was perfect. Yeah, it's a chilled-out city. New York's a monster. It's a beast. And I admire those who can take it on, but you have to be able to take it on. You've been to New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where I've never been?
Where? L.A.?
California.
You've never been? To California?
The whole state.
Really?
Never
Interesting.
stepped foot.
Oh, wow. It's great.
Or Canada.
Okay. Yeah, so you've been in New York and Minneapolis. We know that much about you. Yeah. So you're not a cosmopolitan dude.
I would love to be. I've never had the finances to travel as much as
Is it the finances to go to L.A.? You can get cheap flights out of here, can't you? Frontier, that'll get you down there for nothing.
Probably.
Stay on a friend's couch. You can stay at my apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll.
When I'm not there.
Oh, hold on a second.
But I'll leave the keys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like your own place.
You'll make me a key or leave a key like behind
I'll
fake
leave a key.
rock?
I'll leave a key. No, we'll be done professionally. We'll leave it with the leasing department, and you go up and you say, "John left me a key." They'll say, "No, he didn't," and then you'll just wander around L.A. for a while. It'll be a fun game. It'll be a joke.
Well, he told me a password.
There's no password.
There's a whole game with the password.
They know the password gag. They're not into
There's
it.
no password.
No password. Key only. Very strict. Unlike New York, they'll let anyone in. But yeah, L.A., very strict.
Do you remember... you probably do. Something that you discussed that was coming up right after your last visit and performance in Minneapolis.
No idea. What was that?
It was some sort of major dentist visit.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. Possibly. Well, that's true. I did have to go to the dentist. I had to have a root canal. I knew that much.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Okay, I don't know.
Crowns.
You know more than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, crowns. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know how I would have known the crowns prior to going. This is interesting research you're doing. It's stuff I don't remember at all, like dental work. You're doing a deep dive on my dental work here.
I need to know how much you paid. Does your insurance cover much?
I don't remember any of this. Well, here's how stupid I am. I just figured, well, my insurance doesn't cover it. My insurance did cover like 80% of it. So, yeah, I'm out a lot of money. This is a very sour memory you're bringing up. But no, I did have a root canal. That is unpleasant. Have you had one?
Yeah.
They are brutal.
Uh-huh.
The brutal, they're just like a foot again. My dentist, by the way, I got to do a joke about this, I'm telling you. My dentist is also a poet.
What?
Yeah. So he will read you poetry, and you're trapped. Like, you are strapped to the chair, mouth wide open, being gassed, and against my will, he is reading poetry to me. It's terrible. It's his form of torture, is what it is. I'd almost rather be waterboarded than hear someone read me poetry while I can't say no. Stop it. But yeah, so I had a root canal, and that was just unbelievably painful. But
was his poetry from memory, or was he reading it?
No, he reads it out of his book. He opens his drawer, and he says, "Jonathan, you'll love this one."
No.
But he's Scottish, so I can't do a Scottish accent. Like, I could try, but this is not it. But it's close to this. Oh, a ramble, a ramble, a ramble. Father loved to go on a ramble. Across the reeds, through the vines. Now I'm making it up. A scramble, a scramble, a scramble. Father would always say scramble. Like that kind of nonsense. And you're like, get me the fuck out of here.
Wow.
So, yeah, not only is he a dentist, he's a poet.
I hope you get a discount.
Two of my
for sitting
least
through
favorite
that.
things.
Yeah.
A West Hollywood discount. I've never heard of one.
Yeah, fair enough. I listened to you, a podcast I like to listen to is Entry Level with Brooks Wheelan. I listened to your episode of that.
Okay, yeah. I barely remember that, but yeah, we talked about jobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You and I have in common, we both had paper routes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to remind you of something here from when you were here last.
Yeah.
You and I have some weird things in common.
Oh, shit, yeah.
This will come back to you, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Both of our moms were nurses.
Yes.
Dads were teachers.
Yes.
Sisters named Allison.
Yes. Is
Younger
that right?
sisters named Allison.
Fuck.
Yeah.
2 L's?
Yes.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yes.
That's absolutely true.
And the reason I even brought up the stupid dentist thing, because who gives a shit?
No, yeah.
Well, one of the other things that we had in common is you and I both have a chipped tooth in front.
That's
that
right.
We figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you chip your tooth?
I fell on my face like when I was 12 years old.
It seems to do it because
yeah.
same thing with me. Fell on my face.
Uh-huh.
I was on a desk. I remember leaning forward. I smashed my tooth, and half of it just skidded across the table. Yeah.
Nice.
And even as I think I was in 3rd grade or something, or 4th grade, and even then I know, this ain't good. But I do remember thinking, probably gonna get to go home.
Hey, there's something
Probably won't have to sit through the afternoon with this one. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow, what a coincidence. That's bizarre. Yeah. So, and is your mother retired?
Yes.
And your father retired?
Yes.
Okay. What do they do now?
Watch my kids when I need their help. Dad's into antiques.
Okay, yeah, that's different than my dad. Now, what about your mom?
Antique/garage sales.
Yeah, definitely not my dad.
No.
Yeah. Now, what about your mom? What is she? Is she still a noble
I
honor?
know.
Does she volunteer anywhere?
She does.
My mother volunteers in her spare time now.
She You never think about this thing, but when you go to like a public park and there's someone that takes care of the garden there.
Okay, yeah.
My mom takes care of the garden near at a park near their house.
Good for her. Now, how does one get that volunteer job? Like, does she talk to the city and they say, well, here's something we need to do, and she has kind of a green thumb?
Very much so. She was there, noticed it needed attention, and volunteered her services.
Right, yeah. My mother volunteers destroying gardens. So, yeah, it's a different kind of work.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
She just destroys gardens.
Destroys gardens?
Yes. She is a part of a group in Ottawa, Ontario
Is that needed?
They hate gardens. No, they're a rebel organization. They go out at night and they trample gardens. No, my mother works at a women's shelter, yeah. So,
wow.
yeah. Not that we're comparing the quality of volunteer work.
Oh,
Gardens are important. Women's shelters are also important. I'm not saying who gets the gold medal here. The fact is, they're spending their time helping. Yeah.
And not getting a penny.
But nurses, they're just good people all the way around.
Couldn't get that helping out of their blood.
And so, what does that say about you then? Like, as like you're the offspring of two noble, I'd say, people who do jobs that are somewhat selfless. I mean, obviously, there's funds exchanged, but you could do anything. But to be a nurse or a teacher, I mean, that's a lot of work and caring work. So has that rubbed off on you? How has that affected you? Do you ever think about, or do you think about it more now than you did growing up?
There was a half a school year in college where I wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because of your dad, or
I suppose a little, but
Right.
he was a high school teacher, and I was thinking more elementary, like
smart
kids.
Smart. Yeah, I could not be a high school teacher.
No.
I don't think. No, forget it. We were talking about the Beastie Boys before this rolled.
Yeah.
And here's one I thought of just the other day.
Okay.
Between the years of, like, let's say 86 to 88, if you were in high school or late grade school years, right, and your name was David Jones, right? Your nickname was probably Davy Jones, right? How often do you think Kentucky Fried Chicken was stuffed into your locker? Have you ever thought of that? Because you know the lyric, right?
Yeah.
Delivered Colonel Sanders down to Davy Jones' locker.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different reference
Right.
when you investigate the song. But if anyone's name was Davy Jones, I bet their lockers were just stuffed every day with KFC. I always wonder about that. I don't know why. That's what occupies my brain.
The one time I've been fired from several jobs, but the one
Me too.
time
Almost every job I've had, I've been fired from. Almost everyone.
I got fired from a job that I wanted to keep, and
Right.
the guy who fired me, his name was Dave Jones.
There you go.
David, he went by David.
Well, let's deliver some Colonel Sanders down to his locker.
David Jones.
Yeah. Don't call me Davy. Yeah.
And the fun part of that story is he was firing me for something I really had nothing to do with, and I needed to defend myself.
Right.
Wanted my job back, so after he told me I was fired, I walked out of his office, vented for a few minutes to my coworkers, went back in and told them to fuck off, and got my job back.
Whoa. We got to back this one up.
Yeah.
So this is a job you wanted back. You got fired. But what happened that caused you to get fired?
It was a job where it was a windshield warehouse.
Okay.
We sold and delivered windshields to the companies that install them into cars.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had an altercation with someone?
One of my friends was a manager, and I had been given the gas card to fill up one of the delivery vehicles.
Okay.
Well, then after I used it one day to fill up the company vehicle,
Yeah.
I gave it to the manager, who was also my friend, because he told me
Oh, boy.
that the boss told him he could use it to fill his personal vehicle.
Right.
Well, I gave it back to him. Then he used it on his personal vehicle, then left it at the gas station.
Oh, boy.
So they had to call the company and say, "Hey, we have your card here." And then the boss is like, "Why the fuck? Who? Huh?
Yeah, you were the last one responsible for it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
putting it all together. Yeah.
And but you genuinely thought the boss okayed this, and that's why you gave it. Okay, so you explained that to the boss. The boss gave you your job back,
yeah.
and then you said, "Hey, fuck off."
Well, I went in and said, "Fuck off! This isn't fair."
Right.
And then he went, "Let me think about this." And I walked out again. Then he came back and got me and said, "You know what?
You got the job back after. I thought you said you got the job back, then you said fuck off, and I'm like, this does not make a lot of sense.
Oh,
okay,
well, that would be even a
interesting.
better story, though. Probably
It would be pretty cool. I don't need your fucking job.
right?
Yeah.
I'll take it, but I don't need it.
Then you walk away going, God damn it, I needed that job. The story might be cool, but I'm going to be poor for a while.
I did, however, when he said, you know what, I'm giving you your job back.
Yeah.
There was still like 3-4 hours left in the workday.
Right.
I think he was expecting me to stick around.
Depending on the day.
I didn't. I said, you know what, I'm going to come back tomorrow and start fresh.
Yeah, I need to really think about it. I've been through an emotional roller coaster. Yeah, and as you should. Yeah. But those were jobs. That's what happened back in the day. You're fired. Like, all right, wait a minute. You fought for. There's no HR. It was just, fuck you.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're right. I thought about it. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, should I be saying his name?
Don't say his name. Well, I already know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it.
Fuck him.
Yeah, well, whatever. We'll deliver We'll deliver Colonel Sanders down to his locker one of these days.
Exactly. Let's see. Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much time are you spending back in Canada?
Well, as often as I need to. I love going back. Like, I go back to Ottawa in the summer. That's where I'm from, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I go back as often as I can. I love it there. In the summertime, just great things have happened. Like, friends have grown up and opened microbreweries there, and so happy for them, and just fun places to hang out. The summertime in Ottawa is beautiful. Blues Fest, so a bunch of friends and I went to see concerts this summer. Yeah, I just love it there so much. I think the goal is to actually get back there. Like, actually retire as early, not retire, but move back to Ottawa and try and do something. I don't know what that is yet, but I think I'd love to be back there. Yeah, I just miss it. I don't know if it's my age or feeling nostalgic or what it is, but I want to get back to Ottawa. It's beautiful. It's not unlike Minneapolis, like lots of water, lakes. It's smaller. It's not like it's like Minneapolis is a big city, but compared to, the monstrosities of LA and New York, it's just so much more fun. So I'm thinking of making a move back, but I go back whenever I have to. I went back to shoot a show up there with my mother, and something weird happened. I don't even know if I can talk about this right now, to be honest with you. I'll have to tell you this on the next one. On episode 409, I'll talk to you about this one. But when you listen to this one to prepare for 409, say, what was that story about your mother? And I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or maybe I could tell you, but not tell you that it happened. Well, now I've explained it happened on the show, so I can't. I'll leave it. Just a weird thing happened where, her memory went. You know what? I should talk to my mom if she's comfortable with this. She's fine now.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a bizarre experience. Something, here, just Google transient global amnesia. That's all you need to do. Yeah. But she's fine now. Okay. Let's move on.
That's fine. You know what? You just reminded me of something of being at your show here Tuesday. You instructed the audience to leave and Google Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Wisconsin.
Kangaroo.
Wisconsin McDonald's kangaroo.
Yeah, I never did, but I did write that down.
Google it now. See what pops up. Yeah. Well, I explained what happened, didn't I? Yeah. It's therapy pets. And people are taking full advantage of the therapy pet. Like, there are genuine people, like guide dogs, obviously, and there are also genuine people who genuinely find comfort through these. But a lot of people are just taking advantage fully of the therapy pet by getting some note from a medical professional, which makes ridiculous sense. And people brag about it all the time. It's the equivalent of going, you know what? I don't need a handicapped parking pass, but I got one. That's what it is. It's the same thing. So you're going to abuse the system. It'll ruin itself. But so there was, because you hear stories of people with like therapy peacocks. Yes. Have you read these stories?
Yeah, and
therapy pigs.
I want to ask you: have you ever seen someone? I've been bringing this up on the podcast here and there. I have a job over at the Vikings games, at US Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
And one of the rules there, they have a policy on service animals. Yeah. There are 2 animals that are accepted that you can go in with.
Yeah.
One is a dog.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what the other one would be?
Let me figure this one out. A dog, because to me, that's where it ends. Like, in my mind, I think dog, fair enough, because there's no way it's a cat. Let's be honest. There's no way. What would the other one be? I can't imagine. Tell me.
Small horse.
Forget it. That's
real.
not true. So, like a miniature pony?
Yes.
But what do you mean small horse?
That's what it says.
Yeah, but does it have to fit into some sort of mold? It went through the mold. That's acceptable. What does small horse mean?
Like that thing at the
like you can't have
at the airport where if your suitcase fits in it. Then
or a ride at the amusement park. If you got to be this tall to ride you got to be this small to enter the grounds of a Vikings game. It's ridiculous. Well, you can't bring a Clydesdale, I guess.
No.
Well, they're probably not sponsored by Carlsberg, but you could bring in. Imagine that's ridiculous. Small horse. Wow. Well, why not just let them all in? Who cares?
I am looking forward to seeing
It would make the games a lot more exciting if there was a kangaroo out there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And not that the Vikings are having a terrible season, but they are 1-1-1. It's going to be interesting from here on in. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the crowd. Let's see. I'd love to see a horse in the crowd. And I'm not making people who need a therapy horse. Not trying to make them feel belittled in any way. If you need a therapy horse, a horse. What if that horse shits? Do they have a bag? Because you'll see horse and carriage rides in New York City, and there's a bag to capture the shit.
Or
sometimes
hanging in the
shit
bag.
on the But what does it do? Your horse is going to shit. That's unacceptable. There's no way. There must be a special section for horse people.
I have no idea.
Horse people. That sounds like centaurs, not horse people, but you know what I mean.
Well, speaking of that, let's go back to when I listened to your episode of
stop podcasting yourself.
When you were on Entry Level with Brooks Wheelan, you recorded that right around the time you were going to be on Conan.
Oh.
And just like what you said on this podcast, there's something I want to talk about, but I don't know if I can.
Right.
You were, you had the outfit you were going to wear on Conan, but didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I don't remember what I talked about then. Yeah.
And that, of course, was the centaur.
Yeah. I thought it would be, it changed a little bit. The idea was, for those who haven't seen it, you're better off, but if you insist on looking at it.
Oh, I love it.
Because the whole goal was to just take advantage of an opportunity to do stand-up. So it was supposed to be a ridiculous costume. Like, I just got off Broadway because they were taping at the Apollo Theater, and describing it's funny, but the actual execution of it to me didn't work. But I explained. I have Conan introduce me as I'm just coming. I was running late, but I'm going to be in Hercules the musical. Please welcome John Dore. Then I come out wearing a centaur costume. For those who don't know, let's just be totally clear. That's half man, half horse. I think most people know. So I had a horse body, and I walk out on stage. Didn't have time to change because I came straight from the rehearsal.
Right.
And partway through, I begin to urinate on stage. But then we explain that it's actually not urine; it's my new energy drink, Integrity. Now the joke obviously is I have no integrity. So I was trying to operate on multiple levels, but I think we incorporated too much. And this was the huge thing. Was we were supposed to tape it on a Tuesday, didn't work. We had to do it on the Thursday, which was their last night. So we wanted to have like a Matthew Ferris Bueller. What's his name?
Broderick.
Thank you. Matthew Broderick in the back. Like someone who's totally famous, has no business just being in the back.
People would never
and then when he pops out, his only purpose would be the back of a horse. Mm-hmm. And he was also, he's Mr. Broadway as well, so I thought that would have been perfect. So we couldn't get that to happen. So a few things fell through that I thought would have made the piece even better. But I thought it worked out okay, but not as great as it could have. But yeah, that's what it was. That was the big secret I had to hold in.
I liked it.
Oh, the worst was the department. Like, when you work with Conan, you work with these departments. And Scott, the guy who works in the costume department, he's a genius. And the poor guy was just going through hell trying to make this. They make everything from scratch.
So they made that for you?
Oh, they made that centaur costume. And, of course, you have to get another team to do the actual. Is it pyrotechnics? What do they consider it? But anyway, to do the urine, like that's a totally other department. So it's just departments coming together for the dumbest sketch ever. So I'm just feeling guilty as hell that they're spending all this time and energy on me to get a horse that can piss while I'm on stage.
Yeah, how much notice did you give them to make you a horse costume?
Oh, there was plenty of notice. Oh, well, it's not like I give them a 3 days notice and say, do it, get on it. No, it's like we agree that this is something we'll do. So the booker at Conan, alerts everyone this is what we're doing. So they have plenty of time. Okay. Like before we got to New York, we had, tested it and everything. But it didn't work out on the Tuesday. So we had some problems. So we pushed it to the Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing we want to do at the end, we had to change up. But anyway.
Should you give credit to the guy who did end up being in the back there?
Oh, sure. Yeah. The guy in the back was Levi McDougall.
Okay.
So Levi is a writer at Conan, and he's also a good friend of mine from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we used to hang out in Toronto. He lives in L.A. now, writes for Conan, and, he got to be the back of the horse.
All right. Awesome.
Through rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. Just that sweaty head. And, he's the best.
So there's a chance that costume could appear on Conan again. They have it, probably.
I mean,
right?
They have it if they want to use it. I'd imagine they burned it and said, let's never use this again. Let's not give people the opportunity. It is a pain in the ass. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Hi-yo.
Yeah, why not? Why not throw a pun in there?
Well, I agree. Why not? You, back to Tuesday, You have a thing. You mentioned Uber briefly in your set.
Oh yeah, a lot of that's just messing around. I don't know what.
I'm not encouraging you to tell any of your jokes.
Oh no, I wouldn't even be able to remember it. But yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Uber what?
Well, no. Okay. Well, then
was it being drunk in the back of an Uber?
No, you brought up like when you see the driver and like he's known for being talkative.
When it pops up. Okay, yeah. When that drives me nuts because it just happened at the airport on the way in is when they tell you all this information. It used to be you call a cab, you get a cab, you don't care. It's like that guy was an asshole, that guy was great, that girl was great, whatever. Now you get an Uber and it'll tell you, this is the worst when it says known for great conversation. So immediately I just cancel those and get another one. And sometimes it'll cost you $5, so it's worth it because what you want is known for just sitting there and not talking to you, because they don't have a lot to say. And this particular guy, I could not communicate with him whatsoever. I did not understand what he was saying.
Really?
Totally. Okay. Take that for what you. We'll leave it at that.
Sure.
Could not understand. He might have been the greatest conversationalist I've ever known. But I wouldn't have known it.
When you get in the back of a car and you don't know if this guy's going to be talkative or not, but it comes up and they go, "Oh, what are you in town for? What do you do?" What do you say?
That's a great question. Yeah. I usually say, well, this is what I normally say, unless I'm afraid I'm going to get called out. Because stand-up comedy is a weird kind of thing, right? Because especially someone like me, they're like, I'll say, well, I'm a stand-up comedian, and they'll go like, oh, what have you been on? Where have I heard you from? And then you got to list credits, but it usually ends up with, yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah. I sound like Norm Macdonald. But it's like, yeah, so I usually say I'm an education minister, and they're just bored to death. So I'll say, what are you in town for? Oh, there's a conference. I'm an education minister. And then dead, nothing. Because what's there to say, really?
No, there's a dead end in
everyone's mind. Try it for a second. Let's say you're my Uber driver. You say, what are you in town for?
Hey, say, fella, what you in town for?
Fella.
I have my own stories, all right?
All right, fella. Well, I'll tell you, fella. It's actually quite boring. I'm here for a conference. I'm an education minister, and we're just going over a few policies.
Oh, my uncle is...
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second.
Oh.
Hello? I'm going to have to put my earphones in for this one. I apologize. And then it's Beastie Boys for 20 minutes. That's it. That's how you handle it.
My uncle is a minister as well.
I probably would have stopped you earlier. I said, by the way, before I answer your question, you must be known for great conversation. Hey, fella, where are you going? Oh, this guy must be known for great conversation.
Yeah.
Because what is their conversation? It's usually
how busy they are, how much they do it.
Hasn't been busy today. Barely make any money doing it, but I got to. It's my extra job, and I do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great conversation. It should be known for depressing conversation, is what it should be. Mm-hmm. I have to do this as a second job because my other job's not paying well, and my wife divorced me, and I have 3 kids. I'm like, yeah, you're known for conversation.
So you like talking, do you?
Hey, I hear you're a talker. That's how I'm going to get into every Uber now that says known for great conversation. It says right here. Otherwise, it's false advertising. I hear you're a talker.
Rating goes down if you don't meet my expectations.
Why are they so concerned about ratings? You're going to get someone anyway. Like, how does the ratings work? Do they not recommend people with good ratings? Like, they get fewer jobs if their ratings are lower?
Exactly.
Is that how it works?
How many years did cabs, before there was these,
I miss cabs.
How long were they around, and that was the only thing, and they could have the shittiest service ever, but if you needed a ride, you needed a ride.
Well, certain cities, shitty service. Certain cities, great. Like, New York, Toronto, that was amazing. In Toronto, cabs are still alive. New York, you can still get cabs. No different. L.A., terrible. Always terrible. But if they just kept up, all they had to do, all I think cab companies had to do, like Vancouver's done it, is get an app, and it shows you where your car is and where it's coming from. That's all you need to know, and that's perfect to me. I mean, it wouldn't have taken a lot for them to get on board, but a lot of cities are screwed now.
Those the bikes, and then now there's these scooters. Yeah, they're all around town. Yeah. Are those in LA?
Oh yeah,
well?
yeah.
They are.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The birds and lime and whatever. Yeah.
Have you tried one?
They're everywhere. I've been on them. I love them. Yeah. They're great. Yeah, I mean, LA is not a scooter-friendly city. It's not a bike-friendly city. They're doing better. They're trying, but it's just I'm sure my friend, mind you, he's a massive drunk. So who knows? Because his story is, I think think I got hit by a car. But it's not I got hit by a car. But yeah, he thinks he got, and his arm was swollen, his shoulder's still not fixed. But he was on a scooter and got hit by a car and whatever. Yeah. It's not a scooter-friendly city, so, but people are maniacs in that town anyway. They ride their bikes on the sidewalks. Like, it's not a real city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the rules for those scooters or where they're supposed to go.
Well, no one does. All of a sudden, they're just scooters. It was like Christmas morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? I can get this? Just get the app, and then I can scoot?
Scoot? You
I can scoot. Yeah,
Have you been scooting?
Yeah, I've been scooting. You ever drink and scoot? Oh, someone got a ticket for drinking and scooting.
Really?
In LA. Yeah. Well, hey, motorized vehicle. You can get a ticket for being drunk and riding bicycle. It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those scooters, yeah. I mean, I love the idea of it. They just get left everywhere, which is weird. I don't care they get left everywhere. I just wish I knew I could go to one place and get a scooter. Because you can't. You got to check your thing. It's like, oh, it's 7 blocks away. I might as well take an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bane of the scooter.
The bane.
Yes. The boon is they're fun. The bane is you never know where to find one. Well, you know where to find them, but sometimes they're too far away.
Boon versus bane.
What they need to do is get someone to bring you a scooter. If you can't, they need a service that will bring you the scooter. That'll be the next one. Uber scooter. They'll bring you the scooter to wherever you are, and you can use the scooter. So $2 to get them to bring you the scooter, then you can scoot.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Scuba. Scuba diving. Sometimes my Canadian comes out. Scuba diving, eh? All right. You talk.
Okay. When hockey teams say...
Love this topic already.
Oh, you're bringing up hockey because I'm from Canada.
No, I love
Be
hockey.
Creative, man.
I could care less. Let's talk hockey.
Oh, okay. This is going. This is regards to.
I
Canadian
hate
accents.
hockey. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Organization. Which word do you use and why?
Wow, that's interesting. I don't know if I've given that a lot of thought. So our organization. I would say organization. Yeah.
I've noticed many Canadians say, "Oh, the organization."
Organization.
Huh?
Wait, let me just say this in a sentence, see if I get it right. So the problem I have with the Ottawa Senators organization, I say organization. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Well, what's correct?
I think organization, but
so I am saying it correctly. Yeah, but you've heard people say organization.
Yes, and now you will because I brought it up.
No, I won't.
I mean,
I'll say organization.
You'll hear it.
I think I'll. Oh yeah, no, you're right. I'll keep my ears open for this one. Yeah, let's be honest, they're going to be open anyway. But it's not a lot of work, this request, but I will. Organization. Yeah, I'd say our hockey. Yeah, the Senators organization is not. Yeah, but organization. Yeah, because what's the difference? What is organization imply? We're organizing things. What's the difference?
Organized?
Or is it just not pronounced correctly?
Something that's organized?
Here, let me organize our organization. Our organization is not properly organized. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Well, think about it. I just
confused.
said it. Something that's well organized, like a drawer at home, okay, with your knives and forks in it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's a mess, it's chaos, that's not well organized.
Correct.
But if it was neatly organized, you'd say, oh, that's well organized?
Mm-hmm.
So what about an organization that is not well organized? There we go. We just figured it out.
I think we did.
If you're right, we figured it out. If you're wrong, this has made no sense for a long time.
There's a chance of that.
If there's anyone still listening, this is pointless. Look it up. Get a dictionary out.
They probably have both.
Or a dictionary, however you pronounce it. Dictionary. I don't know how
it's dictionary.
Dictionary, eh?
Have you, and I'm guilty of this, is why I'm bringing it up. Have you noticed...
Murdered a person?
It's funny you say that.
You said you're guilty of something. Oh, wow. Funny I say that.
I just saw a stat this morning. You have what did it say? 40% chance of getting away with murder if you murder someone in the United States? This isn't what I was going to bring up.
Oh, okay.
Because so many murders
Can we come back? Can we put a pin in this one and come back, or will you remember?
I'll remember.
Okay. So 40%. You read a stat that there's a 40% chance you'll get away with murder if you commit one?
Yes.
Okay, so how do they know that? Because how do they know how many people have gotten away with murder?
Because of all the unsolved ones.
Well, there's unsolved ones, but maybe, okay. You're right. But what if there are people in jail that just have not confessed to the murders? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So unsolved murders anyway. There's, of all the unsolved murders that make up the total murders, 40% of them. Well, 40% of them have gone unsolved of the total murders. Yeah. So there's 40% chance of getting away with it. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. But the point is what?
I don't know.
Start murdering? There's a good chance you get away with it?
I don't recommend it.
Fair enough. But you did bring up the stat. So 40% of murders go unsolved. Yeah. But don't forget that cold case squad. They'll get on it. You're not safe forever.
Getting Away with Murder is coming back in a few weeks.
What's Getting Away with Murder?
The show you had to watch that, the Netflix thing with the
Getting Away with Murder.
No, that's not what it's called.
I know the one you're talking about.
The Stephen Avery. What is it called?
Oh, Stephen Avery. They're doing another one with him.
Yes.
Making a murderer.
Making a Murderer.
What are they doing another one with him for?
Part 2. There's going to be 10 more episodes.
For what reason?
They're
going to show us why he's guilty now.
There's more questions.
Oh, is there
there's more unanswered questions.
Everything they left out of that first series is just ridiculous.
No, I loved it, but when you go back, I mean, when you really think about it, it could have been condensed to half as well of what they...
Well, no, but if they would have revealed all the evidence that suggests he's guilty, like, that would have changed our minds. Like, he had been in contact with this woman several times, and a lot of it was not pleasant. They left that out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just interesting what the media chooses not to show us. But to make a great story, this poor innocent guy, I don't know. I don't quite buy it. I can't believe they're bringing back Making a Murderer.
Next month, October.
I don't know if you're thinking of the right show. I feel like that's
the Stephen
dead.
Avery show is coming back.
For sure, Stephen Avery. They're calling it the Stephen Avery show. He's got a microphone in prison and a chair. Today, my guest is another murderer.
The Brendan Dassey show.
Wait, did I just say another murderer? That's the end of the series.
We're gonna.
But what were we gonna talk about before we got into 40%?
I was gonna say that. Here's what I'm guilty of: not murdering someone.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of not. If you gave me a blank map of Canada with names of cities and just any landmarks in Canada, I would do very poorly. I would probably score 40%, like the 40% of murders that get away with it. I would probably score about 40% of matching Canadian landmark cities, and et cetera.
So what you're saying is like they just show you Canada blank map.
Here's Montreal. Put where that is. Well, I think I know where that is, and I think Toronto.
How close do you think you'd get though? Like Montreal, because Canada's weird. It's so spread out and it's massive, and you have multiple states.
Here's what I'll tell you. Yeah. That if I wouldn't have looked at a map earlier today, what I'm telling you right now would I know that that Vancouver's east, no west. Vancouver's west.
Yeah, got it.
West.
Got it. Yeah.
Montreal, Ottawa, and etc.
Yeah.
Opposite end of the country, for
the
most part.
Yeah, Eastern, we'd call those cities,
So,
Eastern,
but I will tell you, if we would have been having this conversation 24 hours ago...
Well, you know where Winnipeg is, because you're from Minnesota.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's north of here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It is north of here. Yeah. It's about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah. I wouldn't know some of that stuff if I hadn't looked at a map earlier today.
Yeah, but what, unless you need to. I mean, I couldn't tell you where, most. I mean, well, maybe I could. I don't know. But
I'm curious.
Well, what about Russia? Name a city in Russia, and where is it? Where's Moscow? If someone showed you, is it coastal?
I'm going to put a pin right in the middle.
Like, where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, well, you pretty much nailed it.
Did I?
Yeah. It's right. It's almost right in the middle, but it's.
Well, the difference is Canada's
slightly east,
just north of us. So
Yeah, no, but the proximity doesn't necessarily mean anything unless you're going to go there. I mean, most of your media is just American centric. I mean, you don't need to know necessarily a lot about Canada. Canada is influenced by the United States because you're just this juggernaut of a huge population. You have television shows. We don't have the capacity or the money or the population to support them. So we take all your television and absorb it. So we know a little bit more about, I think, America just through sheer indulgence in watching these television shows.
Okay.
We know Seinfeld takes place in New York, even though it's shot in L.A., but, you get familiar with, I don't know, different things that way. And America's just, it's powerful. You get your name out of here. Whoever's in charge of branding America, A1.
Did a good job.
A1 job, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Canada, unless it's so weird, Canada, because they're small towns and not a lot of people go to them. Okay, if I said Saskatchewan, what province is Saskatchewan in?
I don't know.
Trick question. Saskatchewan is a province. Yeah. But Regina and Saskatoon are the two cities that you need to know about in Saskatchewan.
And Regina is fun to say.
Well, there you go. Yeah, for some people, for 5-year-olds. Yeah. You don't have to take your face away from the mic when you laugh. You can let people know that you're laughing. Okay, I got one for you just for fun. Let's do this one. Where is Whitehorse? It's not in a province, by the way. We have territories. You know how many territories we have?
No.
So we're divided into provinces and territories. We have 3 territories.
Okay.
We have...
Middle, left, and right?
Well, essentially. But that's not what we call them.
Okay.
But you could, actually, because they are. So there is the Yukon, or maybe they just say Yukon. I can't remember, right? So then there's the Northwest Territories.
Heard of that. Sure.
And then there's Nunavut. So there are 3 territories, okay? Now, the capital of Whitehorse is what territory? What territory's capital? Sorry, Whitehorse is the capital of what territory? You got a 1 in 3 chance here.
None of it.
No. It's Yukon.
Yukon.
This is embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
For you. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's impossible to understand. Even as a Canadian, I'm like, how many provinces are there? I think there's 9. Maybe there's 10. I don't know. I think there's 9. But I honestly can't remember. And then we've got 3 territories. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I think the Stephen Avery documentary, as we're calling it, that comes out next month, is right around the same time that the pot becomes legal in Canada.
Yeah, that's when? October 13th or 17th?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know a lot about what their plans are. I live in California now, so I keep in touch. Here's as much as I know. Pot's going to be legal in October, so I don't know state province for province what they're going to do. I don't know if there's a difference or not.
I can. No idea. Well, then I can tell you that I think it's similar to what the alcohol laws were or are, where it's 18 in some places and 19 in others.
Okay, so Quebec would be 18, and then Ontario 19. That's how they're doing it. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what is it here in America? Is it 21 or 18?
For alcohol?
No. For well, alcohol is 21. Yeah. But is that countrywide, like every state? Oh, so then, but pot is legal for how old do you have to be to buy marijuana?
18, I believe.
18. So that's different than the drinking laws. Okay.
But so again,
18, yeah.
But again, I mean, that can get into the whole tree.
Again, I'm talking to someone who thinks that the capital of Nunavut is Whitehorse. But anyway, yeah. No, I have no idea what their plans are. I don't know how it's going to structure. I don't know as far as our edibles different than I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they have everything planned out. I don't know. Yeah, the government's heavily involved, so it'll probably be messed up somehow for the first little bit. But
yeah. I guess I'm curious. As someone that grew up there, are you surprised that this is happening?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, it was already happening. I mean, I've never heard of anyone being arrested for having a joint in Canada. Like, I've seen cops just go, guys, take it around the corner. But maybe that's my experience. Maybe that's my privileged experience. But I don't know. I know that. Yeah, I mean, pot was never a big deal ever, really. I mean, if you were too young, maybe it was a problem. There is a story I'll tell you about in a second that is actually not entertaining, but she's fine, so it is somewhat entertaining.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, why not? I mean, it works in certain look at the progressive states here, like Oregon and Colorado and Alaska and California. It just works. Nothing has changed. It's actually and I'm so impressed with some of these places you go to. Like certain places in California you walk into, you are treated so well. They're very strict about your age, your card. They swipe you in twice, and then they answer all the questions you have. I'm thoroughly impressed. I think it's a better way to go. I don't think it's going to stop the illegal dealing of marijuana totally, but maybe, who knows? We'll see what the data says years from now. If crime goes down, who knows? Or maybe heroin goes up. Who knows? But so there was a story out in Halifax. Do you know where that is? East or west coast of Canada?
Oh, that's east.
There you go. Good job. Yeah. We call it the Maritimes. If they can see right now, you were very happy with yourself. So
let's end the podcast now. We're done.
A guy left his, and it's not his fault, but it is. I guess when you have pot and kids, you got to be careful. But he left a chocolate edible in the glove compartment of his truck, and I think it was a 4-year-old daughter, maybe 7. I think it was 4. Ate the the entire bar of chocolate. So she's fine. That's why I giggle. She's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who knows? We don't know if she'll be fine ultimately. But I had to check her into the ER and whatever. And I just imagine that'd be an interesting triage.
Yeah.
What's your name? Bananas. Yeah, she's high, guys. She's high. But that's probably a hacky joke. But I just, you got to be careful. You got to lock it up, or else we're going to lose our privileges. Mm-hmm. So, because when I read that story, I'm like, here we go. We've just lost our privileges before we got them. So
I just read a thing that some teenagers drove a car. I think it just happened this week. Drove their car into one of the dispensaries in one of the cities in Colorado, not Denver.
Oh, boy.
They went through the front, crashed into the front door to break in.
Right.
Took everything they could fit in their hands that was in the display case.
Yeah.
They went the next day, interviewed the owner, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we put oregano in the display cases.
Oh,
these guys aren't smoking shit."
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can catch those guys too. It's like, you notice Bill smells like spaghetti? I think he's the guy who drove his thing. Is oregano in the display case?
Yeah, I want to believe that. I don't
know if that's entirely true, but I mean, what a
either.
great thing to put out into the media,
That's
whether
what I mean.
it's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I find that hard to believe because a lot of those display cases are, who knows? Fuck, maybe it's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Either way, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I guess I don't know for sure, but you know what?
You definitely don't. Don't guess about it. You definitely don't know.
I'm not going to make a call on this one. People are going to have to find out for themselves.
Yeah.
One of the other things you mentioned the last time on this podcast.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. You're gonna.
Okay.
You'll be backpedaling fast on this one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What have I said? Now I'm accountable for things.
You said.
Oh no.
That it was a bad idea to put an NHL team in Las Vegas.
Oh. Okay. You know what? You're absolutely correct. And I have done a 180.
You have.
A complete 180.
Mm-hmm.
Number of reasons. So happy that team is there.
Okay.
Multiple reasons. I went to Vegas. First of all, so thrilled. First few weeks of the team, I got caught up in the excitement and the community could come together. Hockey does this, right? Hockey can bring a community together, I think, better than a lot of other sports. And you just saw that community come together after the shooting. So in no way, unless you're not human, do you not get emotional. So I was already a little bit excited there. Then they go on this tear and they're doing well. Then I went to Vegas and I put money on them to beat the Sharks, and they did. So I walked away with $1,000.
Sure.
That was good.
Very nice.
Bought my
Congrats.
Vegas hat, and I also saw every television, no matter where you were, every television in every casino had the game on. And you spoke to locals, and they all embraced the team. If anyone needs a team, it's a city like Las Vegas. It needs that community feeling. I've done a complete 180.
This is completely opposite. Yes.
I know like I said, I agree. I've done a 180.
Yeah.
Previously, I was like, this is a terrible idea. They're only doing this so that visiting teams will go and it's an excuse to bring people to Vegas.
Right.
But I've done a 180. The community loves them, and episode. What is that?
201?
201, erase it.
Erase it.
Erase it. Yeah, no, I've done a 180, 100%. And I own up to it. I never thought it was a good idea. I couldn't have been more wrong. I think it's a great idea.
Right on.
Hockey especially. We'll see how football works, hopefully the same way. But yeah, that community is just so much stronger because of that hockey team. I love it.
Yeah. When the Minnesota Wild played there last season, people that went said, and the announcer said there were more Wild fans in the stands.
Okay, well, maybe,
But Minnesota has always traveled well. How do I say this?
Yeah.
Las Vegas is a very popular vacation destination for Minnesotans,
Well,
especially in the winter.
Same with Canada, though. So that was kind of my argument, but it doesn't matter, is what I realized, because the team did so well. The community just rallied around them. They all have something to say and talk about. So I think it's important, and it's going to take time. Any team, expansion team is going to take time. Vegas is a great place to open one for a lot of those reasons, but I saw the genuine community support, and that's what made me realize, I fucked up.
Very cool.
They've done the right thing, yeah. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are the Senators your team, though? No? Ottawa?
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
We're screwed for a while. But anyway, let's not get into that. They're just, I mean, it'll be fun to watch some of our, rookies and new guys we're bringing up. But yeah, we're done. Carlson was dealt to the Sharks. So yeah, we're. I mean, he had to be dealt, but yeah, we're done for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, and the worst is Toronto is now just got an elite team. Here's another problem. So Toronto, which I notoriously hate, I kind of like the players on their team. So now I'm half rooting for them, but my heart's like, don't you dare root for them, brain. I'm like Jerry Seinfeld in the penis and the brain chess match.
Yes.
But it's my heart and my mind. But yeah, so my I don't know. I just feel like they have such a strong team and they kind of deserve it. But part of me is like, no, let them fail. So I don't know. Yeah.
I can't believe I've never asked you. Did you play hockey growing up?
No, not really. I mean, I played as much as like a kid who grows up in, either like Minnesota or Canada plays, like pond hockey and, took power skating and in rinks and stuff. But I didn't love it enough. And maybe it's too aggressive. I don't know. But I love basketball. So that's what I got into. I played as much as a Canadian kid would because when it's cold, you got to do something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you skate?
Parents need you out of the house so they can fucking go at it, right? So, yeah.
When's the last time you skated?
Oh, God, it's been forever. Long time. Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 5-10 years. Yeah. Yeah, and that would have just been like skating around a rink with no puck or a stick. So,
Sure.
It's been a long time.
Before we started recording, you mentioned something that might be coming out on television?
Oh, yeah. So depending on when this podcast airs, December 3rd, on Comedy Central, after The Daily Show, our special is coming out. I say our because my friend Adam, Dave, and I wrote and they directed, and I star in this special where we explore two very important issues and we solve the problems. They're American problems. They're worldwide problems, but we focus on America. So the arrogant version of myself, or I guess myself, but a little bit more arrogant version of myself. We borrow the Vice News approach to journalism. We borrow their style, but we're not satirizing them necessarily. And I go in and I ask the tough questions with experts, and then I solve a problem. So I solve cyberbullying. I solve the entire problem of cyberbullying, but you got to wait till December 3rd to implement it. But I've solved it. Cyberbullying will never be a problem again after December 3rd when you watch it. I also solved the problem of teacher-student inappropriate relationships. Solved it. It is completely solved. We went to the hotbed of these problems, which is Texas. Okay. All right. In the past year, they've had several incidents. So I spoke to a member of the House of Representatives. I spoke to a victim of inappropriate student-teacher relationships, and then I solve the problem. I get to the core of what the problem is, and we snuff it out. But you'll have to watch December 3rd following The Daily Show. So
you have these things, these life-changing. You're going to problem-solving skills.
Yeah, of course I do.
But you're going to hold off.
I'll tell you why, because I'm an outsider. I'm a Canadian.
That's
at, when you look at someone else's relationship and you can see what's going on, but the people in the middle of the tornado, they're confused. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. As a Canadian, I can look at America and I say, wrong, 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 and I come in and I fix it. You're welcome, America. It's called Big Questions, Huge Answers with John Dore. That's all you need to know. Big questions. We provide the huge answers.
I will be sending you a thank you card dated December 4th.
You don't need to.
No?
But I will accept it.
Okay.
You're just trying to get my address so you can stay at my place. You can stay at my place when I'm away.
Where's that key? Told me you were leaving me a key.
Password is?
Organization.
Let's organize our organization. We figured it out, though.
I think so. I popped open Twitter this morning, and there's one of these stupid, somebody I follow had retweeted this thing, wow facts, and it was, I wrote it down. Let's pretend this is true. I have no idea. Canada consumes more mac and cheese than any other nation in the world.
Maybe. Yeah.
You think that?
You're asking me if that's true? Well, I don't know if that's true.
Did you do your part?
Sure. I mean, mac and cheese. Yeah, why not? Who doesn't eat mac and cheese? But you know what I've noticed? More menus in the United States have mac and cheese on them than in Canada. I see mac and cheese as a side on every menu. You know what? I don't think that's true. The South, they love mac and cheese.
Okay.
California. I want to know what this study is. Not that I disagree with, and you guys, your population, no way. There's no way that's true. I'll tell you right now. There's no way we consume more mac and cheese. I don't think so. No. I'll say no to that. That's a lie. Where did you get that from? What's that study?
Like I said, it's some from some Twitter account. Wow facts. I don't know if they're true.
They're not
or
true. A Twitter wow fact is not true.
It's not true.
I mean, it could be, but this one is not.
Probably not. How are you using social media these days?
Barely. I'm
Barely?
trying to use it more just because I'm being defeated. I realize you have to use it. So, yeah, I'm trying to use it more. So my Instagram, I'm trying to use more. It's both at TV's John Dore, TVS John Dore, no H. So I use Twitter and Instagram, and I have my website, johndore.com. So I'm trying to use it more and more, but I just find it difficult, you know? Like, I know they want something creative, but sometimes it's like I have to just post my dates. Like, I'm coming to this comedy club. Mm-hmm. But so I'm trying to find an interesting, more interesting way to do this stuff, which I will, yeah.
Your Instagram's private, right?
I think so, yeah. Is that bad?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I always thought, because it seems like there's a sensitivity to what people put out there. And I know other friends of mine who have had their accounts locked because someone complained about the content. And I'm like, well, I might as well approve who's going to come in and watch it, because otherwise, you know, if I just leave it open to the public could go, like a 5-year-old could look at something and go, that's gross, and then go, yeah, let's report. So, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Maybe that's the wrong approach. I should probably leave it open, but yeah. Or did I accept your? Did you?
I
you didn't answer volume.
One.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I just. I mean, that's something I always check with my guests.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem.
And you are one of the very few that has it private. So I'll just.
Well,
say
the only reason I have it private is for that reason. I've heard of people having it closed down. I don't want to deal with nonsense, so we'll take a look at who's asking, and I'm like, okay, these people seem to have a sense of humor. So if I put something out that's ridiculous,
sure,
then yeah.
I got you. All
right, good. I'm glad you got me.
Any more acting that we need to keep an eye out for that you've done?
Well, just our special that's coming out, which is acting to a degree. A couple other little things that aren't worth mentioning, just, little appearances here and there. Those shows are successful on their own, so we don't need to mention those.
Oh, okay.
Nothing I'm proud of, let's say that. But, hey, it pays the bills.
Sure.
That's it. December 3rd, special coming out. We're really excited about it. And if all goes well, it'll turn to a series. Something tells me it won't. But that's just me. Just doing a bunch of stand-up, gearing up to try and write more material, and then go on a tour next year.
Right on.
That's it, man. Yeah.
Right on. Anything else we should be mentioning?
That's it. Guys, watch the special if you feel like it. If you don't, take care of your affairs, because we're all going to die one day.
And come to Acme this weekend and see your...
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. If this goes out, come to Acme. We'll have some fun.
This will be out by the time you leave town. Yes.
Okay, good. No, we're having a ball this weekend. It's going to be great. So, come on down to Acme. And
working with Trevor Anderson and Mike Early.
Awesome.
Funny guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the lineup. It's great. It's fun. Yeah. Mike's super special. That guy is like a joke writer phenomenon, or phenom. And, Trevor's great too, man. Like, they're both, it's a solid show. It's like by the time I come up on stage, I'm like, well, that's it. But no, the audiences are so warm and great. And if you've never been to Acme, you're missing out big time, because this is a very special place. So, yeah.
Damn right.
Where's the Acme sign?
That's a very good question. It's been gone for a year, maybe?
No.
Yeah.
Like, thrown away?
No. I believe it's in storage.
For people who don't know, there's a sign. That's iconic.
I know.
Oh, they can't. They got. Louis Lee's got to auction that off or something.
There's been talk.
No, keep it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. For people who have no idea, that Acme sign is such a. Like, that's super important.
Oh, yeah. It's in, if you go on YouTube and search somebody performing at Acme. Why did it get taken down? I'm not real sure. Not real sure.
You do know, but you can't say? You do know?
I might know.
Why? What happened? Did someone knock it down or something?
Nope. I think I think it was taken down when somebody recorded a special here, and then they just decided not to put it back up.
It must go. This is my goal this week, to get that sign back up. It's perfect.
Okay.
All right.
I like it too, for the record.
Well, great chat. We'll see you on episode 409, is it?
409. 409.
Erase 209.
Thanks, John.